Okay, this plan and talk something.
Okay, Sergey, I'm talking into the camera, Sergey. Maybe you can ask me questions. Are you interested where I'm from?
If you want
I know you want some
moving,
English
you can
okay.
gesticulate. Okay.
Yeah, gesticulate.
Gesticulate
Yeah.
by your hand more.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. In this line.
Yeah. Sergey was in America about 6 months ago. My friend Sergey, he traveled all throughout America in a semi-tractor trailer truck with his friend from Ukraine, who's now living in America. He traveled from Florida all the way maybe to California. Sergey, his English is very strong. He almost has American accent. Yeah, Sergey is almost a native American English speaker, so you can also get English practice just talking to Sergey. Sergey's vocabulary is nearly, at least, the average vocabulary of an American citizen, an American university graduate. So.
Okay.
Sergey?
Wider frame.
Yeah. Is it on?
Yeah, 2%.
Oh, it's quite a bit.
Hello, Eric. Tell me about your trip in Europe.
In Europe, well, last summer in August, I was in Luxembourg. I'm also a citizen of Luxembourg. I have 2 passports, 2 citizenships. So I saw some of West Europe, and West Europe is in a bad situation with all the mass migration. Luxembourg, I tell Ukrainians, is about 50% Africa now, so it's kind of a surprise. So, but most of my experience traveling in Europe is East Europe. I've lived all the way from the Balkans in the south, to the Baltics in the north. I've lived in every single, including Moscow. I've been in every single capital city in East Europe. So most of my European experience is in East Europe, not West Europe.
Yeah, that's cool. What another city you visit during your travel?
Well, most of my time I spend in Krakow, Poland. Poland is my favorite country in Europe. It's a very rich country, has no immigration, very culturally rich. No crime in Poland, no crime. So I'm 25% Polish. My grandmother was from a city near Krakow. And my question was to you, Sergey, have you been outside of Ukraine much?
Yeah. At first I was in Russia Federation. It was before the war.
Maybe about 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, in 2010.
What did you think of the Russians?
Sorry?
What did you think of the Russian people?
I was in Moscow and I was in St. Petersburg.
I was in Moscow too. Many Uzbekis.
Yeah, in St. Petersburg many
it's like 2 million Muslims.
Chinese
2 million Muslims. Yeah.
In Moscow many Uzbeks and Georgian and Armenian.
All the federations go to Moscow.
And it's
Azerbaijani.
Rude question for cutting. I don't like this black skinned people and another.
Well, they don't have many Africans in Moscow. Not many Africans.
Maybe, but I was during one day, and then we move back. Because it was a wedding and we...
you were there a short time.
And we shooted this wedding during one day and then in evening we moved back to Ukraine. But in St. Petersburg I was during maybe 10 days because it was wedding of my brother.
I was there like 3 days.
And we have many trip to city tourist places,
Tourist attractions.
Yeah, and we looked many interesting places, many buildings, statues.
That was Russia. Have you been anywhere else in Europe? Anywhere else outside of Ukraine? Not much.
It was very
Long ago.
very
Oh.
long ago, yeah. But
You're quite busy with the child. You really can't
but
travel when you have a child.
when I was in Russia in 2010, 2011, there are very good roads.
Roads, yeah. They have good trains. They have new trains now. Good infrastructure.
Yeah,
No.
good roads.
Because they have all that petroleum money.
But in Europe, I was in Italy in this year, at this year, yeah. And
Many Africans there. I've heard.
many
I've heard. I haven't been there.
And Arabic people
Yeah.
and Indians, really many, and it's bad because this black skin guys.
There's no future. There's no future.
They walk near the shop. They walk near the.
But if you listen to the EU leaders, the European Union leaders, all those Africans you see in Italy and Arabs in Italy, they're going to make Airbus, the future Airbus. They're going to be the engineers that are going to make your new Mercedes-Benz car. They're going to be the new chemical scientists of Europe. Our leaders, they tell us that.
Yeah.
Those are our future scientists and engineers, those Africans we see.
This
It's
tolerance.
kind of a crazy.
It's tolerance. It's way too bad. I think.
Yeah.
It's.
But I tell you, I've been coming to Ukraine in and out for 8 years, long time, you know. And today, this year, I think I see more Africans today in Kiev than I did 5 years ago. There's a little bit more. It's small, but there's a little bit more every year.
A bit more because, but this.
So I get a little bit worried about Ukraine.
These people who came for learning and leave.
I don't know.
These people have.
You think?
Money for teaching.
I don't know.
It is not very bad for our society because in Europe, these black skin people in Europe, it's a.
Well, it's huge numbers in Europe.
It's people who arrive from the
To live, they get a passport, they get citizenship, they get government welfare, they get everything in Europe, you know. Yeah.
It's poor people who nothing do in their countries, and they came to Europe for praying money. I know. They want money and do nothing. And that's all. It's really bad for
Europe. I know, and I talk to Polish people, you know, and Polish people, I live in Poland a lot, and the Polish people, they say, those people, all those Africans and Arabs, they are in Germany, they are in Sweden, they are in Belgium, they are in England. They're not going to hurt us in Poland, we're okay. You know, they feel safe. And I say, you're not an island. These Polish people think they're an island. You know, someday, it might be 50 years, 60, these Africans are going to try to get into Poland, you know.
Maybe.
We're not an island. We're kind of more like a group. We're a continent, Sergei. Europe is a continent. Poland thinks they're safe because they think they're an island. They're part of the European continent. And what destroys Germany, what destroys Sweden, what destroys England is going to destroy Poland too. It's a danger. Because just, for example, France is a nuclear power. England is a nuclear power. When they become Islamic Muslim countries with nuclear bombs and a huge military, and their president, you know, the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, is a Muslim Pakistani. The mayor of London is a Muslim.
Muslim?
Yes. So it's only going to be 10, 20 years, the president of England will be a Muslim. Well, that's not a danger to Poland? That's not a danger to Poland? England has Trident submarines with nuclear missiles, and they're not going to be a problem for Poland? You know, but Poland thinks, we're an island, we'll be okay. Well, they're going to be surrounded, it might be 100 years from now. But they're going to be surrounded by Muslim and African countries. Germany's going to be an African country with a big military, you know. But Poland thinks, oh, we'll be okay. I think Europeans need to think more collectively. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, okay, is that enough context? I don't want to get too.
I think we don't have problem with the Muslims and with the black skinned people because
well, even today,
because our weather and our
they will come here too.
And our economic,
I tell you the truth, they will come here too. It's a matter of time. European Union, you're going to become a part of the European Union. European Union will get power over you. They're going to push you.
In Italy,
it's a matter of time.
You need only 2 euros for go to shop and buy some food. And these guys who paid this money, and they have metal money, coins. And so some people give him coins, and these coins it's 50 euro cents, 10 euro cents to 20 euro cents, and during the day they have
50.
Maybe 2 or 5 euros, and this enough for food. They have free clothes, they have free wear, and this enough. But in Ukraine, if these people don't do nothing,
oh, there's no money here. Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
it's a little
but
money.
still, I tell you, Sergey, these African and Arab countries. I'm not talking about Saudi Arabia with all their oil money, but these other, even Libya. Are such garbage countries. They are such garbage countries. These Arabs and these African countries are such shit that even this Ukraine is a promised land. They would love to come. Even the people of India would love to come here.
You know why?
Even
because Ukrainians are racist.
But if
this is a nice. Even though you have no money, this country is better than India.
Yeah,
just to live here.
But
your metro is better than anything in India.
What they want, what they can do in winter, because very cold and you have no any home, have no any.
Every Turkey man I meet, when he marries a Ukrainian woman, he wants to live here with his wife, not in Ukraine, not in Turkey. Yeah. So, and Turkey is the richest Muslim, was one of the richest Muslim countries. Turkey has one of the biggest salaries of the Muslim countries. It's one of the Turkey is really the most advanced Muslim country in the world. Even their military is quite powerful, but still every Turkey man wants to live in Ukraine.
I have a question for you, Eric. Do you think an average Ukrainian is a racist?
I don't believe in the concept of racism, and the word racism was invented by Leon Trotsky in an essay he wrote. The word racism and the word racist was first. That's not an English word. If you go to books in English books in 1800s, there's no word racist. There's no concept racist. That's a word created by Leon Trotsky, and it's proven. If you go to Wikipedia today and look up the word racist in English in Wikipedia, it says this is a word invented by.
Africans here, Slavs versus Africans. What do you think?
Well, Africans don't like white people taking over African countries. They're killing South African white people in South Africa today. Are Africans racist?
Still, there are
Africans racist?
So many Africans in U.S. and Europe has opened its doors to those Africans coming from colonized countries from the past. So Europe is full of Africans now. It's getting worse, even worse, right? But not ex-USSR countries, right? Why is that?
That is kind of a mystery, and it's kind of just an accident of history.
So we're lucky.
Like with mathematics, Viktor Orban of Hungary, he gave a speech, Viktor Orban of Hungary, he said, you know, in mathematics, a negative word, a negative number, -1, times a negative number, -2, is a positive number. Mm-hmm. -1 times -2 is positive 2. Viktor Orban said, you know, he said it was kind of an accident of history that Hungary was part of the Soviet Union and suffered a great deal economically. It was a negative thing, a -1.
You know,
he said a couple and then there was World War II happened to Hungary. It was another negative. He said, but if it wasn't for those negative things and those destructions that happened to Hungary, we probably would have been incorporated into, you know, Germany and the EU quicker, and we wouldn't have suffered so much with all those negative things. We'd probably be like England and be half Pakistani. You know, so sometimes from negative things, positive things can happen. The suffering of Poland made them resist becoming colonized, like Belgium is half African now. You know, so sometimes you said, why did this happen? The Soviet countries are not half African like Belgium. Well, sometimes through negative events of history, positive things can happen.
You know, hence, since we took this, our conversation took this turn, sensitive topic of racism, so maybe you should wear some like plastic bag on your head, so to cover your face. No,
everything I say is within the laws of the land I'm living. I know the laws.
So free speech is not much popular here.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, we're not in the EU, but there's one of the best things about America is we have free speech in America. I don't know if you guys know this, but the First Amendment of the United States Constitution is free speech. And there's no country in Europe that has free speech written into its constitution. Free speech is not written into the German Constitution. It is in America. We do have free speech.
Looking at your haircut, I may ask you a question. Do you share neo-Nazis ideas?
The answer is no.
All right, good.
It could just be Sergey. It doesn't need to be me.
No. Actually, he can interrogate me.
I shoot you both.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you think, like this, if we get like the logic better?
Maybe the director has a question for Sergey.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, I mentioned a little bit about Sergey to the director. I mentioned that you had been to America just last summer and had traveled all around America. What did you think of the Americans? Were you disappointed, Sergey, in the American people?
No, I've received only my experience.
I know, in your experience.
As it funneled through
it
my
kind of
lens and my worldview, and I just I'd be good at one things and very bad at others.
What were the negatives? I always like to hear the
I
negatives.
was at a survival point, kind of.
But what do you think of the people?
Generally.
Were they ugly? Were they stupid?
Well, I had experience dealing with those Russians who came to
Miami.
Mainly those. Well, generally people are kind of open. You know, if we talk about, I'm ethnical. I'm partially.
Are you a Russophile?
I'm Russo.
Are you Russophilic? Do you know this word?
No, I'm a little bit more Russophobic now.
Oh, Russophobic. Okay.
Since like 5 years back.
Well, you went to America, and the first thing you did was you sought out the Russian community and hung out with them.
Well,
all these
not
Russians.
a single
I have a question.
Yeah, you are throwing too many questions at me. I'm okay. What's the next one?
It's a debate. Well, you met all these Russians. Were they in America? Who have become Russian? Who have become American citizens now? Were they mainly Jewish Russians?
No, different nationalities.
Wait, it's kind of hard to know. Would you know?
I met guys from Uzbekistan, different guys, different ethnicities from actually.
Part of the Russian Federation.
A couple of them were from Moscow. Some of them were from even some guys. Okay, well, you're talking Russians. Are you talking about like country Russia or USSR? Because those people were in their 40s.
Well, when Americans refer to Russians, we refer to today's Russian Federation with all of its federations.
Not much. Actually, there was an incident, very interesting incident. I went to a startup event, and there was some guy, Russian speaking. He revealed himself. And then I switched to Russian and I talked to him. So he was so zombied.
What?
But he was
zombied.
Actually, yeah. It happened when there was a move from Russia when they showed the video. Remember the missiles fell on Miami part, like the Russians on an eve of presidential elections back in March. They showed some videos about their intents that they've got some missiles are in development, and they showed computer animation that the missiles are going and attacking Miami. Remember that?
I missed that.
You missed it. So that guy, he saw Putin's speech and he said, "I'm so proud for that."
Okay.
And so his word, he sounded so negative. So I think some Russians who are getting the benefits of the Western society are living in
Yeah.
US. They still following Russia Today
Okay.
propaganda
pro-
channel. Yeah.
They're
And
anti-
so they might have the slightly distorted.
They're
you know,
anti-American and pro-Russian, but now they're
Yeah.
American citizens.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he told me he thinks about returning back. He's so proud. You know how this propaganda works as person
patriot,
watches, they're
Russian
following
patriot.
the news from his original country, patriot. Yeah.
Okay, so my next question is not about Russian Americans that you met. My question is about native white people in America and native darker black-skinned African ancestry American people, and then our huge what we call Mexican, Latino American citizen population. What did you think of them?
Well,
Were they just like
would
Eric?
call-
Were most of the white men in America a lot like Eric?
No. Of
Did they
course
look
not.
like me?
I've been in Miami,
No.
but I've traveled around the like 35 or so states.
For about 3
along
months.
the roads, experiences.
Maybe about 3 months.
Yeah. For 2 months I've been on a truck traveling along the roads, highways, truck stops.
So you met
That's-
white truckers.
Yeah, so it's kind of, I would say it's only like a selection, so I can't generalize about it, but I would tell more about those people I've found or interacted or dealt with in Miami. So actually I can call myself to some extent as xenophobic, because you know something,
What does the word xenophobic mean?
like being frightened or cautious towards foreigners. Is that
Exactly.
the right
Yeah.
word? Yeah.
Xeno means
Like being prejudiced.
xeno means foreigner in Greek, and phobic means fear. Fear of foreigners. Xenophobic.
So when I think about Arabs and their harsh talk language to me, it cuts my. Italians might be too emotional, and that also doesn't bring me pleasure. You know, it's uncommon and uncomfortable. It makes me, you know, a little bit stressed. So that's one explanation. You know, body language plus some other things. I'm not mentioning some cultural aspects or cuisine. Maybe it's not. It's an issue of choice. So, but when some other foreigners around, like Africans, they might. The smell might be like of more stronger
You detect
things.
that. You detect
No,
that.
no, it's not about my experiences, but sometimes when I've been in a bus, low class bus for $2, travel around Miami, so the selection of people, ethnicities were both Africans and Russian and Spanish. So of course those are dirty places. Sometimes that happens in the libraries. So and they're like Africans mainly, might be, or like I do not want to kind of link directly this to that like hygiene or like smell of different ethnicities or strength of smell from the body, but you know some people in some areas or districts might be like you know caring about themselves better than others, you know. Hence we are paying more money to live in a more prestigious area, right? To have a good neighborhood, both culturally and in terms of hygiene. Yeah, I might have diverted a little bit into these things, which really bothered me. You know, when I first encountered so many Africans in Paris, I was walking down the street and like they were cooking some corns, like
Outside?
on the you know like tin cans,
Okay.
big cans, and there was open fire and they were cooking, and I thought, okay, maybe I confused something. What's going on here? And I thought, okay, should I walk further or should I stop and return? Because it was on my way to my hostel where I want to stay. And I walked into one KFC, and there were not a single man, but fat African women with 1 or 2 kids, each of them maybe 1, 2, 3 years, and feeding them with those fried.
That's a good observation, interesting observation that you had of the field that you're reporting, what you saw in France.
It really
I have a question.
added stress to me because I'm not considering myself a racist, but when it's uncommon to many Africans, and I feel insecure because culturally among like if we talk about crime, it's linked more to Africans than white
As you
people.
can see, the people of Paris are African, and they're
Yeah,
having lots
but
of
they're kind
children.
of okay, calm, cool.
Well-
But I felt like some.
Do you think all these new French people who are African are going?
They are actually they've been there for.
Do you think they're
dozens of
going to
years.
create a French culture of Airbus airplanes and Fiat automobile company? Do you think they're going to be the future
Oh.
engineers and scientists? Are you
I have-
racist?
Am I racist?
Do you think they're
Hi,
gonna
hi.
be-
Sometimes I feel like I do when
The chances are
the
equal.
racist is linked in my mind to some bad things.
But the
Or
chances are
bad smell,
equal.
or yeah, but
If these
generally
kids
I'm
go
not
through the
racist.
same, if these children, African children, go through the same French public school system, they will produce the same number of chemists
Probably
and engineers.
yes.
Probably yes. Okay.
And
He's very
if they
optimistic.
keep up the
Do you know fun about the black skinned peoples? How many white things can have black skinned peoples? No?
Many what?
I didn't understand.
How many white things can have must have black skinned people? Three.
Which?
It's white teeth, white eyes, and white mustard.
Mustard?
Mustard.
What is mustard?
Master.
I'm very
Master,
aware of this,
master.
like, so we're touching really,
No, but
yeah?
no, but
Okay.
but
Yeah, are we finished with racism?
Sergey, but I captured this on film. Sergey thinks that all these black Africans in Paris are gonna, who go through the Paris public school system, are on average gonna produce the same number of chemists, engineers, doctors, and scientists. That's what he said. He said.
I know
said
only-
probably, I do not have
said-
a solid opinion.
He said probably.
Okay, is there a
I got
link
this
between
captured on
IQ
film.
level on average races? Are different races having different IQ levels?
You don't think so?
That's my question to you.
What have the Arabs invented?
Can we write some numbers?
Anything in this room, from the light bulbs to the camera, to that pot, to this plastic bottle, plastics, has anything been produced or invented by Arabs? Point something in the room, quickly, you get 5 minutes.
Are you a racist?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not yet. Are you a racist? No?
Maybe this one, but
Yeah, I wanted
What
to
is-
show it. Yeah, but not there.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
But-
It's originated in the Middle East, I guess.
Maybe, okay.
So Eric loves peanuts. Eric loves peanuts. Usually eat them
Oh,
every day.
yeah.
Okay, so is that enough for, or did you want to say more? We got a lot.
they bring many fruits and vegetables in Ukraine.
Yeah,
Citrus and another sweet fruits.
but maybe
Oh, they sell
other
yeah,
people engineered those.
dry.
No any engineer. Only one who I know. It's
Arabic
no black skin in America.
architect.
Outspace and astronomic.
Well, I'm skeptical.
Astronaut. Oh, astronomer.
Astronomer, yeah. With the mustache.
I know him, I know, yeah.
Ah,
yeah,
no,
this-
it's about physics. He's a
Yeah, yeah,
popularizer.
yeah.
Oh, there's. That's maybe enough to edit.
Neil
yeah.
deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
been discussed,
it's like a white man who have a black skin.
Yeah. So, welcome to our club, Racist Club.
Racist club.
Sergey doesn't like my politics on.
Yeah, but my
Impression?
employees, the guys with I work,
Co-workers.
my coworkers, yeah, forever tell me that I cannot speak about black skinned people.
Right, it's true. You can't.
They're politically correct.
Especially, it's not politically, especially with our American
Yeah,
employees.
it's true.
Yeah.
Because it's
We
a,
call it-
it's like a it's
You'll
like
get on a blacklist in an HR department.
We call
and then
it political correctness. Political correctness. You know the word.
yeah.
Why are you showing quote unquote?
But now
Because it's not real. Like, It's
Well, it's a
made up.
fake term. No, the word political correctness did not exist in 1970. The term, it's an expression. These expressions all have a origin, a birth, and a lifespan.
What does that mean? Like keeping the truth, because not to cause like some discomfort to somebody, or what is political politic?
Political correctness is an expression. It's an expression that was created in basically the 1980s. All of these expressions.
Okay, guys, we need
A man, like a person. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Draw me something.
Okay,
Something simple.
Sergey is the leader here. Sergey, do you want me to draw just a head, a face, or the whole body?
Doesn't matter. You
Okay.
got like half a minute. You just draw a man, maybe full scale, maybe all the body, maybe the face.
There's the eyes, there's the eyebrows, there's the ear.
Yeah. Looks good. Like a Pinocchio. A little bit.
A bit distorted. Yeah.
Yeah.
like with Putin.
Not bad.
Yeah. But and can you draw another one here? Like standing like full length.
Well,
Man,
it is
person.
pretty hard to draw.
Just maybe something simple.
Okay. So, Sergey, why are you asking me to draw a picture of a man? Which?
What's the point? There's no point.
Oh, I thought you had a
Just
joke.
do it.
I thought you had
Yeah, I
special
had, but
preconceived scheme.
yeah.
Maybe some
It's
clothes.
okay. Looks good. Then I'll do
Finish.
some drawing.
I add notes.
Nice, yeah. So we've got the man and we've got the head of the man. Oh, this reminds me of some Ukrainian, like in some Ukrainian cartoon, some character. So
Sergey,
yeah.
can you remember what you dreamt last night? Did you have any dreams?
No.
Okay.
As I dreamt not many hours, so I forgot my dream.
Okay.
Although like all people are dreaming, but not they are not.
Are you a good drawer?
Able to no, I'll try to draw my person. So normally I would draw something like simple like this.
You have a standard?
But no, just I might play around with the the
Cartoonish.
fruit sizes. Just a simple ordinary man. Like either if I try to express some emotion, I would normally draw a smile. A smile with a big mouth with.
That's your
big
standard,
teeth, yeah.
little
No, it's just like, I'm a little bit stressed out now because we're just.
I used to have something I would do in school when I was a child.
Oh, like a lightning bolt.
A lightning bolt.
Oh, let's see.
That's
I
when was
used
a
to
child.
draw. I
That's
love the idea of
wait.
drawing cars. I had an idea to build a car when I was
Three-dimensional.
in my first or second year at school. So I was drawing buggies, with a frame, and I was thinking about how to weld them, how to do this, some things.
So Sergey, I'll ask you a question and you draw it. Draw me something two-dimensional. Just very simple.
Just like this, yeah.
Oh, okay. Now draw something three-dimensional.
Alrighty, that could be some cone or
Let's see.
a threader or some.
Okay, technically,
like-
yeah, that's three-dimensional.
Like-
Now,
Four-dimensional.
we have an expression in America, four-dimensional chess. So draw me something four-dimensional.
Okay, I would draw if it's about okay, four-dimensional. I would.
Are you mathematic?
No. But I just read some things about this, and maybe I would.
Oh. Well, the joke.
I don't know.
The joke in America.
It can be done in a two-dimension. I get well. There are some drawings or some arts pieces of art which
Maybe
can be,
you know how to draw four-dimensional cube.
yeah,
I don't, because
You can.
the reason why I say to Sergey, draw something four-dimensional is because it's an American expression that became popular, maybe started being used about 6 years ago.
So it's
it's kind of a joke
beyond-
because
yeah,
there is no
beyond-
fourth dimension.
It's not
No,
a joke.
Actually,
There is
there are
no-
like
if you-
8 dimensions or
Because the fourth dimension is time, as far as I know.
No,
No.
no. 4-dimension. This one is 4-dimension cube.
No,
Sorry.
that's three-dimensional.
And then.
That's three-dimensional.
No. And then
inside
inside.
another one.
Hop. It's a 4-dimension cube.
Well,
Why it's
not-
It's a projection 4-dimension cube in our 3-dimension.
yeah, there's the word like projection of 4-dimensional figure.
We cannot see 4-dimension. We cannot
Yeah,
see
so
only
we can
3-dimension.
project, So we lose some information
But
about
this
the
projection,
object.
if you can, it's like if you have sphere.
You can slice it and
Sphere.
have like
Sphere in a 3-dimension, yeah, sphere. On 2-dimension,
It will be like
it will be
this.
like or-
just
or
a
like
circle. Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
I thought that in physics, the fourth dimension was time. You know about physics,
sure,
is it true?
sure.
Okay.
It's in our
I don't know.
time.
You can combine any
Space and time. It's our university, I think. Yeah.
But you can add anything like a temperature.
Well, sometimes on YouTube, when I watch a physicist give a speech, like a TED Talk or some kind of a lightweight speech, a physicist, he'll say that the fourth dimension, physicists, at least the vast majority of physicists, can't even picture the fourth dimension. But yet you're drawing the fourth dimension?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I watched
It's a mathematic. It's mathematic.
I watched some videos. Actually, you can easily find those, and I think there's a vast number of those where people are talking like the latest discoveries about our universe, and they build mathematical models of like 26 dimension something universe or something like there's mathematics allows to formalize those equations and those
Well, the reason why I bring up the fourth dimension to you two is because a new expression in American politics is 4 dimensions. Because whenever Trump does something that the media says is really, really stupid, the people who are Trump supporters say, well, Trump is playing 4-dimensional chess.
4-dimensional chess.
Yeah, so I try to explain that to you Ukrainians.
It's a joke. It's a joke. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe it's true. Maybe Trump is playing 4-dimensional chess. We don't know. When it kind of means he's playing it horizontally and vertically in time, and maybe he has some maybe he's doing something that we can't even imagine.
Now I'm asking Google to help. So my query was number of dimensions in our universe, and what's your guess? What will the Google say to you?
Well, with string theory, they're saying there's like 9 dimensions now.
Yeah.
What's that?
Superstring theory requires 10
10.
space-time dimensions and
Yeah.
originates from a more
But those haven't been proven. Those haven't been
theory
proven.
tentatively. Yeah.
Those haven't been
M
proven.
theory. Yeah. So you know a little bit
With
more.
quantum mechanics, how many dimensions? Maybe at least 4, but I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
You know
There's
more
the
about
drawing,
physics
yeah.
than I do.